In Titus chapter 1, one of the themes that is addressed are the qualities of a good leader. And our verses for today from chapter 1, verse 7 and 8, Paul lays out what he thinks some of those good qualities are. For an overseer, and in some Bibles it will be translated as a bishop, for an overseer as God's steward must be blameless. He must not be arrogant or quick-tempered or addicted to wine or violent or greedy for gain, but he must be hospitable, a lover of goodness, prudent, upright, devout, and self-controlled. How's that for a challenging checklist for yourself? Shall I look at those again? Blameless, not arrogant, quick-tempered, or addicted to wine or violent or greedy for gain. Those are the things that Paul says as a leader, and any leader, but especially in the church, those aren't qualities you want in a leader. You don't want a leader who's greedy. You don't want one who's violent. You don't want one who's quick-tempered. Quick-tempered, violent, greedy leaders don't serve a family well, a church well, a nation well. But what are the qualities that Paul says are important? Let's talk about each one very quickly. Hospitable. Why was hospitality so important? Not only was it part of Middle Eastern culture, but again, there weren't hotels like there are today. There wasn't a lot of safe places to stay when you traveled. So a church leader needed to be hospitable. You needed to be comfortable welcoming people in your home and having them stay with you and providing for them. A lover of goodness. Something we're going to hear a lot about in Titus. Goodness, good deeds, good works. That's fundamental to being a person of faith. Prudent. You've got to, rather than being greedy, we want to be prudent about finances. We want to be wise and judicious. Upright and devout. You want someone whose spiritual character people can see. And the final thing he says is self-controlled. Isn't it amazing how many times the fruit of the Spirit are mentioned in all of the writing attributed to Paul? And self-control is one that's especially mentioned in Titus. It's mentioned here in chapter 1 and verse 8, and then we'll hear it again in chapter 2 and verse 6, 5, 6, and 12. Again, the importance of husbands being self-controlled, the younger men being self-controlled, and how in the present age we are all to live lives that are self-controlled, upright, and godly. You hear that repetition, upright, godly, self-controlled. Paul must have felt like he was a broken record talking about the importance of these fundamental qualities. So it's a good little checklist to keep for yourself. How are you doing? How hospitable? How much are you loving goodness? Prudent, upright, devout, self-controlled. It's a good little daily checklist to remind yourself.